Ready? Yep. All right, we're gonna call our ditch authority to order, 7:07. We need to approve or amend our meeting minutes from the November 21st, 23 meeting.
So moved.
Second. Motion is second to approve those minutes. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, it's carried. Move on to considering the partial payment to Hellman Construction for repair of CD 9 and 14. Chris?
All right, I apologize, by the time that agenda items need to be turned in to publish, I didn't have the actual pay requests forms completed by the contractor, but I do have them now. I'll just talk briefly about it. They've been making excellent progress on these ditches thanks to the weather. Had a conversation with our contractor this afternoon just before coming here. Everything goes well tomorrow. He thinks he'll wrap up County Ditch 14 by the end of the day tomorrow.
Oh,
It'll be, all the trees will be cleared, excavation will be completed, pipes installed, everything. And the question he had asked me, I mentioned earlier that I wasn't prepared to answer because I wasn't expecting to not have snow on the ground, is like, do we need to go ahead and seed these areas now? And so I'm gonna look for some seeding experts. There is a little bit of frost in the ground, and so we need to think about if we're gonna go ahead and spend the money to have him put seed out, or just be prepared to do that next spring after everything thaws out. These pictures I have on the screen is an excerpt from inspection reports that I get from Houston Engineering out there. I think it shows, pretty good what we see out there. There's a picture before on the left, and then there they are excavating it afterwards. So you can kind of see, what the conditions were before we complete the excavation. There's just an example of a field crossing being replaced.
Looks like that water's coming out, I hope.
Oh, yeah. Because as you can see, though, you can kind of see partially in this picture the elevation that needs to be set. This on either side of the culvert, the way our contractor chose it, he had a crew putting in the field crossings before he was doing the channel excavation. Oh. So we had some of this happening before where the pipe's lower than the ground on either side of it. But he has since come through and completed that. Just another example. Now that we know that our policy is that we're clearing trees and brush on both sides, they did that. That was their first operation. So I think things look a lot better than County Ditch 6 in that regard in the spoil piles. Just an example of some.
Is that an apple tree in the picture?
So yeah, so
Look really closely to it.
we made the decision that all trees within that buffer strip area come out. We started our work just before deer season, and some of the trees had deer stands in it. So I instructed our contractor, don't cut any trees down that have a deer stand in it, because if it's not a deer that gets shot, I don't want it to be one of us that gets shot. So there are some trees, we may have to go look at the ditch and see if there's some trees we need to come back and remove if they've removed their deer stands out of it. Yeah, just some more pictures. So it looks like these culverts are buried at this time. Once again, this date is November 27th. They've come through and completed since then. I do have some more pictures. These are some pictures that I've taken. I'll be brief because I know we want to get out of here. But just showing the ditch, there's a good example of what the buffer strip area looks like now, and those spoil piles, how they've smoothed those out.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm in the County Tahoe right now, driving up and down this.
I commented to Chris when we went over there after CD 6, you take one look at that and you go, that's the way we want it. I mean, it's just evident.
Wow, there's a good picture.
Yep. So beforehand, this area looked like it did here. It looked like a forest. I would guarantee you could walk through that and not know the ditch is here. But once you clear the trees out, even before we've excavated, you could still see the depression where the ditch was. I just thought that was good. It's hard to argue that there was not a county ditch there when, look at this nice straight line of a depression. There was a county ditch there before. We're just restoring how it was originally excavated.
Go ahead.
In the areas where we have open channel, we have a lot of overgrowth like this. So that was another part of the project that had to be out. And then we have, this is kind of the very downstream section. This is actually County Ditch 9 we're looking at. We have meadows that look like this. There is a small channel in there, but we know that's not how that ditch was originally intended.
Mr. Chair, I want to thank you and Commissioner Pop for meeting out there, meeting with Hellman's and getting this taken care of. I want to thank Hellman for stepping up and understanding the situation, because this is good for everybody, the outcome.
Yep, absolutely. And he's very cordial about it, very understanding, willing to do whatever needs to be done, so.
Yep. I think it's important that the property owners that we all met with understand that and because it goes a long ways with them too.
This is just one final picture, another good example. This was practically forest through here, but once you get the forest out, you could see, yep, there was a ditch there, but it hadn't been, had any attention for 80 to 100 years there. That's what we're doing with these projects, is restoring.
We did see upwards of 3 to 4 feet of sediment in some of these ditches.
Yeah, that's where this picture was here. I was taking it towards the sun, so you see
Sure.
the sun glare
Yep.
there. But this is a location where it's 1.8 feet, so 1.10 feet of silt and sediment in the bottom of the ditch. So
Were you in the gray rhino?
I was in the Great Rhino, yeah.
Well, we sure weren't on the Black Swan.
Oh, thanks for taking those.
Yeah, I'm saying
Thanks,
joke from AMC.
thanks for taking those pictures, Chris, and make sure you keep
Yes.
them on file so that when we do have complaints, at least we've got pictures of.
And I think
what this process
I did talk
is.
to Chris about our new maintenance program software we'd be able to dump this information into.
Sure.
That's exactly right. That Drainage DB program, as it's
Yep.
called, that these go in there. Yeah.
Yep, perfect.
So with that being said, we do have partial pay requests for the 2 ditches. So County Ditch number 9, in total, they're requesting $126,992.67. County Ditch 14, nearly complete. They're requesting $402,844.17. So I guess a motion and a second to approve these partial payments to the contractor.
What was the number on the first ditch?
126,992.67,
Correct.
and then 402,844.17.
Yes.
Right.
And this is through November 29th, 2023.
All right, I'll move for approval on that.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion and a second to approve these partial payments for CD 9 and 14. Again, CD 9, 126,992.67. CD 14, 402,844.17. Any other discussion?
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It's carried, thank you. Any-
They're probably gonna wrap this up, and that's gonna be a big plus to those landowners come next
Oh,
spring.
boy.
Exactly. They've had good weather too, right?
Yeah, you
Mr.
know.
Chair, can we have them check out, what was my dish, 3?
Three.
Three.
Supposedly there's some culverts that are already plugged.
Yes, I am aware of that. So the one of them is at the very downstream end, the big MnDOT culvert. I've failed to connect with the MnDOT maintenance superintendent for our area. There is some kind of metal grate. I mean, it had to be there placed there intentionally that is catching debris. Like somebody had placed it there to catch debris in the opening of that culvert. That, yes, I agree, needs to be taken care of.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up. We'll try to get that taken care of here.
Anything else?
Yeah, do we have
Chris?
any place in the county, Chris, where we could build a 20-foot ditch, 20 feet deep?
20 feet deep?
What do you wanna put in there?
I don't know. I just wanna be like some of the other southern counties where we got 20 feet deep, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Put some trout in there?
Really?